Okay, it looks like we're recording. So whenever you're ready, Annie, if you're ready to do a drop in, let's get dropped into our bodies and just let the feminine energy of being present be here and see if we can close our mind down for just a moment and become fully present here as you're making your way back. Give you just a minute. All is well. All is well. And
I just
Courtney,
gotta
whenever.
feed my kid so that she
Yes.
doesn't come interrupting.
Okay. That
I'm
sounds,
ready.
yeah, it's okay. I'd rather you be able to shut it down and be here than feel like I've got one more thing to do. So just take like the next 30 seconds. How about that? And get yourselves ready. So I just invite you to put down anything that you're holding in your hand, close out any tabs, or just like go into your space. And just take a big deep breath out. Exhale everything out. Completely empty your lungs, empty your ribs and your back body. And be really intentional with these exhales, maybe even more intentional with the exhales than you are the inhales, meaning I want you to see if you can release any old stagnant energy from last night, from yesterday, from days before, and even this morning, and give yourself permission in this moment to fully allow your mind to recharge, your body to soften, your heart to open, and your soul to come online. Taking in another big deep inhale, this time expanding the ribs and the back body when you do that, taking up space, bringing in new energy, new air. And when you exhale, I want you to think about pushing the exhale down through your diaphragm into your root, grounding you into the seat that you're sitting in and connecting deeply. So your breath is going up and down instead of expanding out and contracting in. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do this a couple more times. I want you to think about life force energy that is pumping through and moving through your entire body. Now imagine that string pulling the top of your head so that your chin becomes parallel to the floor. Your shoulders move down away from your ears, and your spine gets really long. And again, we're going to bring this energy down to the root, your sits bones. And I want you to feel really anchored. Connect in now through your feet into Mother Earth. And feel her energy, her support. Mother Gaia grounding you. See if you can start to feel your feet get heavy or even a tingling in the bottoms of your feet. Just notice what happens when you intentionally choose to connect into that grounding energy. And now when you feel really solid in that, I want you to start to feel energy coming up through the earth, all the way at the core. Go all the way down, like roots are taking you all the way down. Notice what color you see. As you make your way and get to the very center, the very core of the earth, notice the texture and the color. Now I want you to notice the temperature. And as you're connecting and cording into the core, the center, what does that feel like in your body? And let that come all the way up through the core, through those roots, coming into the bottoms of your feet, moving through the veins of your body. As though those roots and veins are the same, connected. Feel it moving through and nourishing your entire body. Feel the divine feminine energy of Mother Earth coming through you. Feel the grounding, safety, and the nourishment and the soft flow as it continues to move through your veins. And now I want you to imagine that color and that texture and that temperature filling up every cell of your body. Moving around the bones, through those bones, ligaments, muscles, continuing to fill your body. Every place in your body is filled with that color and that texture, that temperature. From the tips of your toes, now all the way to your fingertips, let it move down through your arms and into your fingertips. And now let that move all the way out to the edges of your skin and start to feel that tingling temperature, the aliveness on the largest organ, your skin. Your entire body, your physical body, is being nurtured, nourished, and fed by Pachamama. Feel what it feels like to be completely held. And let that energy start to radiate outside of your skin. So that the layer outside of you, your aura, that first layer, is coming from every cell of your skin outward. And let it move out until you feel comfortable and satisfied with the distance and the bubble that is now surrounding you. Feel deeply nourished on all four sides, top and bottom, front, back, right, left, all around you. And see that color get brighter and more clear. And I want you to now seal up the bottoms of your feet so that you keep this energy within you and around you. Let it penetrate and permeate. And bring your attention to your heart, thanking the Mother, Pachamama. And invite this energy to stay with you, to be with you now and today, that you might fully embody the energy of the divine feminine. And as you bring your attention to your heart, ask, what word or words or phrases are here for me today as a reminder of this energy. It is the message for you individually to take with you today. And on the next inhale, I want you to bring that energy, that feeling into your entire body so that you feel it, every cell. And bringing it to the outer edges of your skin. Bringing in the phrase, the word again. Repeat that 3 times. When you're ready, with gratitude, you can take another big, deep breath in. And on the exhale, softly open your eyes, looking at your body when you open your eyes, some part of your body. Giving gratitude to the physical body. I invite you to look at your hands and just notice what these hands do and have done. And look at the details, the wrinkles. And feel a lot of gratitude for the years. And when you're ready, I want you to just write down what message, what word, what phrase came to you. Take about 15, 30 more seconds. We're going to come back to this. You'll have an opportunity to write more. Just jot that down. What texture, what color was alive for you? What was that temperature like? So it's all information. And this is the practice of being connected to your intuition and your feminine energy. Today, we're going to go deeper into talking about this masculine and feminine energy and how you specifically use these energies in your life to serve you best. Any shares about what that meditation was like, or what a phrase or word or color or texture, any parts of that you want to share?
I'll share.
Thanks, Court.
Interesting, Kate, because the color that came up was blue.
Mm.
And before you even, what I experienced, you then said. So it was like my veins turned into the roots.
Mm.
The blue and the blood of the blue in the vein turned into the roots that went. And then you said it's like their veins, like you said the same thing at one point. So that was cool. And it was very cold, like the
Mhm.
It wasn't warm. It was very, very cold, but not like in a bad way.
Okay.
And the word was quiet.
Thank you for sharing that. It all seems like it's connected, right? It's like when I think about blue and cold or cool and like the stillness, what I envisioned is like, when it snows and it's right after it snows and everything's just like calm and settled and it's not freezing. It's actually usually colder when it's snowing, but it's that after where it's like still, quiet, just like calm, right? The color blue, calm. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love the uniqueness of it. This is why I love the feedback and to hear. So thank you for sharing that. Annie, you want to share?
Yeah. I felt really distracted, even going into the core of the earth. I could see the color, I could feel the temperature. For me, it was cool as well. But I felt a lot of frustration and a lot of energies that I felt like weren't mine because I was open, maybe. And so after a little while of that, I decided that I was going to push out, push out any of that energy that wasn't mine. And so I just visualized my heart energy, which is like a golden light, just pushing it all out, continuing to be connected to the earth, but to get rid of all this extra stuff that wasn't mine. And that felt really good. It was interesting that every time you brought up the color, it triggered me. I just felt irritated for some reason. Like, I don't want to pick a color. Why do you keep saying color? It was a weird experience. I don't know what that was about because I always work with colors too, but for some reason that just yellow light was more important than other colors. So it felt frustrating, just so bizarre. And then my phrase really was to go inward and surrender.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. It's fascinating that both of you cold, right? It's interesting even just to think about like right here, not in meditation, but even right here. For me, oftentimes that first like thinking of the core is like lava, is warm, is like, so yet my body temperature is cold and I was feeling cool. So that's a very interesting thing. And continuing to work with that. The intention today for this conversation in this call, and I want you two to be really active. I appreciate you showing up and be here. I always like to reward that. And for those who are catching the recording, thank you for doing that. And there's an advantage to being here in this conversation. And I want to go deeper and I want to talk a lot about your specific ways that you show up in your masculine energy that serve you, and your specific ways that you show up in your feminine energy that serve you, and getting really clear on this foundational thing that creates safety, security, predictability, organization, all of the things that we do that create that. And then I want to get to that tipping point where perhaps it becomes more of a default to be in that masculine energy, because what we are rewarded with, what we are what we see a lot, what the language that we hear reinforces a lot of that productivity, that go, that accomplishment. And I want you to get really specific. I invite you to get really specific on where you can find refinement in your own life. So it's going to be different for each of you. And there's no one size fits all. We already know this, but I'm going to read some words to you, okay? And as I read these words to you, I just want you to write down the ones that ping for you. And if you get other words, great, right? Just great. So we're going to make two columns. You're going to do a masculine and a feminine column. And my invitation to you is just as I say these words, write down what feels aligned with how you show up in your masculine energy. And then we're going to do that with your feminine energy. And then we're going to kind of, again, we're going to get specific on something in your life. The goal here is that you can create a little bit of refinement, right, for yourself. And I want you to come back to that word that you wrote down, surrender. And it wasn't calm, Courtney. It was
Quiet.
quiet. Okay. So the where we're going with this is, what are the ways that you can create that in this kind of refinement? Okay. So here are some masculine words for you: structure, thinking, producing, consuming, decisive, protective, tenacious, focus, efficient, self-reliant, linear, talking, intellect, mind-driven, doing. And if any other words come up for you, I want you to write those down. Your masculine energy. How would you describe your masculine energy and how it serves you? So words that serve you, specifically in what you're doing currently, today, right now, not in the past. How you're showing up in your world today. What masculine words are serving you? I don't know if I said organization. If you like a checklist. And just give me a little hand raise or say ready when you're ready. We're going to move to the, okay, great. Now, if it feels good, you can write these across for them or not, but just, I want you to make 2 columns. So feminine energy, freedom, feeling, receiving, creative, open, vulnerable, playful, magnetic, compassionate, connected, cyclical, listening, intuition, heart-centered, and being. And if there's any other word that you feel connected to, flow, quiet, peace, calm, surrender, inward, any of those words that ping for you, I want you to add them. And when you're ready, you can just give me a little hand raise. Thank you. So we know this, right? We are clear on masculine energy and feminine energy, and that masculine energy is the doing, it's the achieving, it's the logic, it's the reason, it's the get shit done energy. It's what we do as moms, it's what we do in our business. It is the thing that we all do very well, and we also have this beautiful ability as women, as feminine, to be able to have that and harness it, and also find this like feminine flow, and intention with all of that. Multifaceted. I've said this and I will continue to say it. I absolutely believe that as the divine feminine rises, the masculine heals. And not just the feminine and the masculine men, but the feminine within. As your feminine energy rises up within you, within me, as we allow that fire, that femininity to rise up, we will heal that masculine energy within us, which is the overachieving, which is the people pleasing, which is the more. So I want you to think about something in your life right now. Get really specific, okay? Something in your life where you feel like you might be kind of overindulgent or overusing your masculine energy. And if it feels good to you, if it doesn't pop right away, please close your eyes, go within, ask yourself, where in my life right now am I overusing my masculine energy, or really leaning on this masculine energy because it's comfortable, because I've done it before, because I know how to get the results? Something really specific. And if you're open to share, I would love to hear. And if you want to wait until we flush this out a little bit, that's okay too. So just please feel free to, like, when you have something that you want to share, just go for it. Don't feel like you have to wait for anything, okay? Just as it comes up. But where in your life, something really specific.
For me, I'm really practicing being in my feminine. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. But I realize that when I do masculine things, doing, it is very masculine. I'm having a hard time just being, or to do it for the fun of it. I do to create, to grow, to have some kind of accomplishment. And it's painful almost for me to just sit and color for fun. Like, coloring is a big deal for me these days, because I'll even create stuff. Like, I make stockings for Christmas, and for me, like, oh well, I can hang it up. I'm gonna see it every year. It's a thing. But for coloring, if it's not something that's gonna be hung up and that I can see and it makes my home more beautiful, but really just a piece of paper that I could just throw in the garbage, is so challenging for me. But it's so beneficial, right? To slow down and just be and do it for fun like a kid. And even when I am out laying in the sun and tanning, my whole intention is that this is really good for my body. The vitamin D is good for my body. I'm grounding on the earth, and there's always a purpose rather than just, oh, I like it, I enjoy it, it's fun. And those things are included, but there's also the purpose that, like, oh, I'm checking off all these boxes, I'm getting all this stuff at the same time. So I'm realizing that's my masculine traits of just like, what's the bigger purpose? What's the reason? What's the growth behind everything I do?
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, like it's a good awareness that even when intentionally you're having whatever it is that you're doing be around that feminine energy, how that masculine thing still creeps up. Like, can I measure this, or can I show something? Is there going to be like something that I can show for it, or like prove that I was productive with my time? Like, what is that? Can I just say, what did you do today, babe? Oh, I just stayed home and colored. Like, I just colored and I have nothing to show for it. I just colored. I hear you. So it's, so Annie, that's that piece, right? That I invite you to really just sit with. And the invitation is to notice where it is in your body. So when that comes up, like, oh, I feel like this, I need to be able to put this up or do this, I want you to just start to notice where you feel that in your body. And then the invitation is to go even deeper into that and see if there's some kind of deeper emotion that is tied to it. And the first thing that comes up for me is worthiness. And you can take that or toss that, but I invite you to just sit with that a little bit more to see like where. So the two questions are, where do I feel this in my body? And what is this? And one thing you can do is when whatever comes up, just ask, and what else? And see if you can go a little bit deeper and spend some time into this to really get to like that. And then a loving kindness meditation around that to heal that part, that piece, because we are so programmed in the masculine. That's the mind, right? Like it's the default. It's running us. 95% of what we do is the subconscious on program. So that 5% that's not is just the tiniest little part. And so even as I love you said this, you're like, I've been practicing a lot being in my feminine and like really intentionally doing this. And so fascinating that there's still that part. There's still that little part that's like, yeah, and what do you have to show for it? Thank you for being so vulnerable. This is like, it's such a vulnerable conversation. And I know that you too, I know you very well are doing the work around this and have been for years. This isn't like, oh, I'm just hearing this for the first time or it's so new to me. Like I've watched you peel back layers and go deeper and go deeper and go deeper and go deeper and go deeper. And so I appreciate the vulnerability on the refinement of this. Please. Yeah.
So what I've been thinking a lot about is that, and I know our human brains love the binary so much because it makes it make sense. But ultimately, no, it's a continual dance between the two. And it's never a complete one or the other. And even when we find it, even in the trying to parse them out and be in one or the other, my experience is that I find myself shaming myself, right? And what I would offer you, Annie, and as Kate says, take it or toss it, of instead of being like, oh, I'm still doing this for a purpose and that's masculine, that's offering even like that's a bad thing. And so even just the reframe of, I'm doing it, the end. And like the recognition of like, I did color today. I did create just to create. You know, like, I don't know. That's what came to me is because I really have been thinking, like Kate said, like 7 or 8 years of this work. And I don't know if they can ever fully be parsed out, and we wish that they could.
I agree. I like that a lot because we do make it bad or wrong, right? A
Yeah.
lot of the time. And when you were saying that, I was thinking, well, how does it feel in my body? And the masculine part of me likes it. I like
Yeah.
to have the
Feels
accomplishment. That
good.
actually is the feel good, right? I got to do what I wanted to, and I accomplished something. And Kate is right too. It is a worthiness thing. And at the same time, I enjoy all of it.
All the pieces of it. And it is a worthiness, but like in the reframe of, but I did it, it's like, yeah, I did the thing. I slowed down. I did the thing. Like I don't know. That's what helps me.
Yeah.
And even in your words, Kate, I was really struck by you using the word cyclical and saying that's feminine, because even in that word, it means that it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it were just the same, right, it wouldn't change, right? And I don't, for me, it's the continual honoring of the dance between the two that in my body feels the best. Like you said, Annie, I really, really appreciate that. Anyways, that's what I was thinking about. But my thing that's coming up for me is my hyper independence, and that's nothing new. And that's for me when it goes unhealthy, right? when it goes beyond a healthy level of not asking for help, not letting people in because frankly, it doesn't feel safe, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's for me when the really the doing, the yang piece is like, I'll just take care of it. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you. I want to honor the masculine part of us, right? Think about how it served us. And to think that we just need to like, oh, that's bad, or I need to get rid of that, or like that part of me is like, I only did that because, or right, like I didn't have any other option, or like that was whatever the story is around it. The truth is, it served us really well. And my experience is that the divine feminine has a lot of masculine energy. That is that gentle and strong, and also the fierceness of that energy. And the pendulum has swung so far. And I brought this up, I want to bring it back because I just saw a post and she was talking about the 8-8 portal, which we know that was way back in August, but that was a huge opening and an ending of a 12 years of that pendulum shift, right? Of like, hey, the feminine is now gonna claim and honor and like be in that masculine in a way of like proud, right? And like, I have this and I can be this, and yes, the me too. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It goes from like damsel in distress, like, oh, I just, can't do anything, to no, I can do everything. And I believe that coming into this like space where it kind of does like this still is really empowering, and we can still do everything. And when and if it's needed, required, helpful, an advantage for us, for our families, for whatever it might be, we will step into that and we get to claim it. And the invitation here is, I love this because this was the conversation. We know this. It's not an either or. It's an and fully being able to be proud of that part, those parts of us with a lot of confidence, like a lot of confidence. And we also know that if it doesn't feel safe, right? And if we cannot trust that it will, whatever it is, will look, feel, be, result in this thing, we just take it and we claim it. And we do the masculine, we do it. We do it. So the invitation here in the conversation is, how can you personally know what you know and just finesse this a little bit, that in even a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 10-minute experience, you're vacillating between this masculine and feminine. And I believe that creating that masculine structure, the safety, the whatever, if it's the checklist, if it's the organization, if it's whatever it is, right? Whatever, if it's the communication, masculine is communicating clearly, creating agreements, speaking, so that then in the moment, the clarity's there, the structure, the organization, whatever it is there, that then allows us to shift into this feminine energy and step right back into that masculine as needed and when we need it. So it's all conscious. It's all on purpose. It's choosing to use those energies based off what's happening, because it's a choice, not because it's a default, or not because it feels like, well, I have to, because if I don't do it, then it's not going to get done. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again. We're going to go a layer deeper on this. Now that you're really clear and you know what word came to you through, literally through the veins, through the roots of Gaia, Mother, all the way into your own. And I want you to come back to that specific word. And I want you to take it in even more and ask, how can I take this phrase or this word and use it, apply it intentionally into this scenario in my life right now that I've offered up as being something that I want to be more aware of, and really finessing this feminine energy. And what is that connection? So I invite you to open your third eye, just between your eyebrows. Imagine it softening. Imagine a white light coming in. And as you imagine that light coming in through your third eye, I now want you to open up your crown and imagine light coming in through your crown as well, so that you might see clearly, so that you can activate the masculine energy within you to connect with the feminine intuition, that your mind and your intuition will come together and bring to your mind's eye that word, and now the color, and now feel that temperature and that texture. And ask, how might I see this situation more clearly? How do you surrender? How do you feel more peace and calm and quiet as you move through the world in an active masculine energy? How do you finesse these two? And what else? Invite expansion and clarity in. And what else? As you continue to keep that third eye open and letting that white light from source energy coming in through your crown, I invite you now to move that down through your throat, activating your throat chakra. And ask yourself, is this something that you get to speak or hear? And now filter that down through your heart, softening your heart, opening your heart. And what else? See if you can activate your emotional body through the heart. and really feel this. And now move this energy, this clarity into your solar plexus and activate your personal power and feel the strength of your personal power. And now move it into your belly, your sacral, the creation, your creation, the creative energy within you, and merge these. Move it all the way down to your root, into the pelvic floor, feeling the safety and the security that you create. And now move that all the way down through your feet and those roots, all the way through, down to the core, to the very, very center where we began. Feel tethered and anchored in to Mother Earth. Feel the energy, the grounding. And as you're anchored into the core of the earth, I want you to feel what that feels like to be solid and connected. Let that energy run all the way up again through the roots and into your veins, moving through your entire body. Let it move up to the crown of your head. As you feel that connection to source. Feeling the energy from the root and the ground, the core, all the way up through your body and coming all the way down through the crown of your head. And let those connect in your heart space. This life force energy beating in your chest. And one more time, ask, and what else? Take your time, and when you're ready, when you open your eyes, look at your body. And come back to your hands. And take a couple of minutes to write down what you're experiencing. We'll take about 30 more seconds to just. And in these last couple of minutes, I would love for you to just share like what else came? What was the next layer to this? What additional insight came? Yeah, great, Courtney.
So I asked what the connection was between quiet and hypervigilance and hyperindependence, and it actually didn't come until I started writing. And it's that I have to be the one, or the lie or the belief is that I have to be the one to figure it out.
Ooh.
And so if I can be quiet and just listen, the next steps or the answers will become crystal clear without having to figure it out. And it will unfold in the divine timing of it instead of just being like, I want to know now, so I need to know now. I got to figure it out. I got to put in the work to figure it out. So that was what came.
Thank you. You know what I think is so badass about this? You're still going to be the one that has the answer. It's just going to come instead of I need to figure it out to I know. Like I love this so much because it's this finessing. It doesn't mean you're not going to be the one that comes up with the answer. It means you still are going to be the one that comes up with the answer. It's just the way you're going to go about doing it is this slight little tweak. I love it. So cool. Thank you for sharing that. How you feeling, Annie?
Good. Feeling is the answer.
Mm.
And I so I felt like as long as I'm listening to my body, if it feels good, it's healthy, right? I really liked what Courtney said, bringing up that the healthy energy versus the non-healthy rather than masculine versus feminine. It's okay to be in whatever you're in as long as it's healthy, as long as you're not being a dick to people and hurting yourself and all these other things, as long as like I can be a woman who's absolutely masculine as long as it's healthy and it feels good in my body. That's what my answer always is. Does it feel good? And then I thought of the something else is it's okay to go lay out and tan, but also have my brain do the masculine thing of there's a purpose and a reason. It's my safety mechanism, right? Because of my trauma in the past, and that's okay, but to have that backup. But I'm not doing something because I'm not worthy or whatever, but it's just so that I can feel safe, which feels good, which is the whole, that's always my answer. Does it feel good in my body?
I love that too, right? It comes back to that and it's like both. It's yeah, yes. Like we don't need to deny the part of us that keeps us safe. That right? It's we get to be safe within ourselves. We get to create that safety within ourselves, and then that allows the opening. Yeah, Court.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just having like this aha moment when you said that, Kate and Annie. Thank you. Like that frame helps me so much, but I think it gets unhealthy when we then outsource the security and the safety. And when we use really gendered language, because masculine, feminine, male, female in our society is so loud, especially right now, it becomes, oh, but then if I'm in my feminine, I then need to outsource my security and safety to someone in their masculine. And I think that's where it gets really easy to twist that all. And that feels really sometimes confusing to me and unhealthy.
Absolutely.
So anyways,
I love it. Yes. It all is within, all of it. Everything is within, and really learning and discovering for you, not for me, for you. How does your masculine energy work within you? How does your feminine energy work within you? Where is it showing up in your life? And where can you just finesse it a little bit? And that will change and evolve and grow also, like seasons of your life and whatever that is. And that is also the feminine energy of allowing this cycle, which Courtney said, that is always changing and shifting and never the same. So thank you both for this conversation, for being open, for being vulnerable, for going in within. And I love how it came full circle and back to just how do you slightly finesse it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day, a great rest of your day. Bye.